Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akhsita and Nandagopal. This evening, we're going to be talking about the delimitation showdown. Chief Minister Stalin, remember, has called for an all-party meeting in 2 days from now, on March 5th. And amid that, he's also pitched for people to have more babies, saying perhaps that's the only solution to deal with the delimitation mess. Is that really the case? Can that boost population? And is that the only solution that southern states have? We're going to be talking about that and more. And our top focus this evening on Super 6, the delimitation exercise is slated for next year and is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. The southern states are up in arms over delimitation, with Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin leading the charge. Chief Minister Stalin, remember, has called for an all-party meeting. This is on March 5th, in 2 days from now. And today, while urging parties to come together and fight the delimitation exercise, he interestingly made a pitch for the people of Tamil Nadu to have more babies. In a state that's been leading from the front on family planning, on population control, Chief Minister Stalin now says we have no choice but to urge people to have children immediately. Let's play out for you exactly what Chief Minister Stalin said.
முன்பெல்லாம் குழந்தைகளை நீங்கள் பெற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டாம், அவசரப்பட வேண்டாம், கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையாக இருங்கள் என்று சொல்லிக் கொண்டிருந்தோம். இப்போ சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் வரல, சொல்லக்கூடாது இப்போ. ஏன்னா மக்கள் தொகை அடிப்படையில் இடஒதுக்கீடு அந்த நாடாளுமன்ற எண்ணிக்கை வரும் என்று சொல்லுகிற நேரத்தில் நமக்கு எண்ணிக்கை மக்கள் தொகை அதிகம் இருந்தால்தான் எம்பிக்கள் அதிகம் வரும் என்ற நிலை இன்றைக்கு உருவாகி இருக்கு. ஆனால் நாம் குடும்ப கட்டுப்பாட்டில் கவனம் செலுத்தி அதில் வெற்றி கண்டோம். அதனால் இந்த நிலை நமக்கு ஏற்பட்டிருக்கிறது. ஆனால் இப்போ யாரும் உங்களுக்கு குழந்தைகள் நீங்கள் அவசரப்பட்டு பெற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டாம் என்று நான் சொல்ல மாட்டேன். உடனடியாக பெற்றுக்கொள்ளுங்கள். முன்பெல்லாம் குழந்தைகளை.
So you heard what Chief Minister Stalin said while speaking in Nagapattinam today. Is there a need to actually boost birth rates in Tamil Nadu? Does Chief Minister Stalin's pitch to have more babies in the state actually make sense? We'll break down for you the birth rates currently in Tamil Nadu. And this graph that you see on your screens shows you how the numbers have been shifting, finally settling in 2024 at 10.9. This is essentially the birth rate per 1,000 people in Tamil Nadu. Now you can see in the graph that in 5 years, and I'm looking at 2019, that figure, to 2024, there has been a drop in birth rates, which isn't really surprising considering in most parts of the country and even in the world, birth rates have been coming down. So from 12.5, it reaches 10.9. Tamil Nadu does feature in the list of states with the lowest fertility rates. But there are other states which have lower rates than Tamil Nadu. You could argue, of course, that some of these states are smaller than Tamil Nadu. But let's keep in mind that Tamil Nadu so far has only been hailed for its population control measures, never faced any real birth rate crisis. So the statement that Chief Minister Stalin has made stems only from one issue. That is to address delimitation and ensure that Tamil Nadu still has as much representation as they currently do in Parliament. Chief Minister Stalin has made this statement months after you had a similar pitch from Andhra Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, when he said that families should have more than 2 kids. We'll incentivize these families as well. For him, of course, he was speaking about demographies. He was speaking about ensuring that in South states there is higher population figures. Listen into what Naidu had said a few months ago, essentially the same message of have more children.
మనం 1.6కి వెళ్ళిపోయాం. చాలా డేంజరస్ ట్రెండ్. ఏదైతే మనం జపాన్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నామో రేపు మనల గురించి వేరే వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడే పరిస్థితి వస్తుంది. కాబట్టి దీని మీద శ్రద్ధ పెడుతున్నాం. ఈరోజు ఒకప్పుడు నేను పంచాయతీల్లో ఎలక్షన్ల కోసం ప్రజాప్రతినిధి స్థానిక సంస్థలు రాష్ట్ర ఆధీనంలో ఉండే వ్యవస్థలన్నిటికీ ఇద్దరు పిల్లల కంటే ఎక్కువ మంది ఉంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎలిజిబిలిటీ లేదు. అది తీసేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు 3 పిల్లలు ఉంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ ఇచ్చే పరిస్థితి వస్తున్నాం. మోర్ చిల్డ్రన్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఎంకరేజ్ దామ్. ఆ కండిషన్ తీసేస్తున్నాం. ఇంకా ఆ కండిషన్ లేదు. ఇప్పటికే లేట్ అయిపోయింది. కాబట్టి ఇప్పుడు ఆ కండిషన్స్ ఏమి లేవు. నెక్స్ట్ ఎలక్షన్కి మోర్ చిల్డ్రన్ ఉంటే అది ఎట్లా పెట్టాలో తెలియదు కానీ లేకుంటే వీ వాంట్ టు ఎంకరేజ్ దామ్. వాళ్ళకు ప్రిఫరెన్స్ ఇచ్చి అవసరమైతే పాపులేషన్ని ప్రమోట్ చేయడానికి ఒక పాలసీ కూడా తీసుకొస్తాం. జనాభాని ప్రమోట్ చేయడానికి, స్టెబిలైజ్ చేయడానికి ఇన్సెంటివ్స్ ఇస్తాం. ఇప్పుడు అంగన్వాడీలో ఎట్లయితే పెట్టామో ఇంకా మెరుగ్గా అలాంటి పిల్లలు వచ్చినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఏమేం చేయాలో అవన్నీ చేసి వీ వాంట్ టు ఎంకరేజ్ దెమ్.
Okay, to just break this down and see if what's happening in Tamil Nadu is being echoed in other states as well, we're joined by our reporters across all the southern states. From Chennai, we have Pramod Madhav joining us live from Bengaluru, Sagai Raj. From Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala, Shibimon will be getting us the updates. From Hyderabad, we have Abdul Bashir. And in Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada is Apurva. Good evening to all of you. And the sense we'll get from each of you is what's been the reaction to this entire delimitation issue in each of your states. Pramod, I'll begin with you. In Chennai, of course, it's well known that you've had Chief Minister Stalin essentially trying to be the rallying point for all southern states, saying we should all come together. He's called for that all-party meeting the day after. Pramod, has there been any confirmation of who's attending?
Well, the North versus South divide has surely turned strong in the past 2-3 weeks, Akhsita. And just like you mentioned, it's been the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin who's been taking forward this issue. And just like you mentioned, day after tomorrow, we do have the all-party meeting. However, certain parties, BJP is definitely not attending it. AIADMK has also said they are not willing to attend the party, claiming that this issue could have been resolved long time back because DMK was a part of Congress earlier. But the Chief Minister, even today, while speaking at Nagapattinam, he said that this is not something to do with anybody's ego, and this is an issue for the state, and everybody should come together and participate in the all-party meeting, Akhsita.
Okay, Pramod, just stay with me. I want to bring in now Sagai Raj. He's joining us live from Bengaluru. Sagai, the moment this delimitation controversy broke out last week, I remember there was a statement from Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah essentially aligning with what Chief Minister Stalin has said. So what are we really seeing in Karnataka? Is this going to become a big political showdown like we're seeing in Tamil Nadu right now?
See, non-BJP ruled states have come together, especially Congress here in Karnataka as well as even in Tamil Nadu, where the leaders are accusing the central government, stating that these are the rewards that the southern states are getting because following the government rules, which is one of the government rules. The government rule is to ensure that there is a control of population. Family planning should be done. According to 1971 census, the delimitation was done. If you are trying to do delimitation according to census 2011, definitely a lot of numbers will reduce in Karnataka and southern parts of India, where almost all the states, including Kerala, the Karnataka, Telangana, have followed the rules and reduced the population by implementing government programs. They claim that just because these states have strictly followed the government programs, these states will be penalized because there is no more population. If you go according to the population, and when you compare with the northern states, the population have increased drastically compared to the southern states, and definitely the seats will be increased. Though Amit Shah has promised that not even a single seat will be reduced in South India, many fear that these are the consequences that the southern Indian states have to face.
Karnataka is one of those which has a low fertility rate right now, looking at really the data points that we have. I'll just bring in Shibi Mol. She's reporting from Thiruvananthapuram at this point. Shibi, is in fact the Pinarayi Vijayan government in agreement with what Stalin says? Will they be attending the all-party meeting?
Well, Akhsita, there's no decision yet on the participation in the all-party meeting from Kerala. Of course, the CPM is in an alliance with the DMK in Tamil Nadu also. Yes, as far as Kerala is concerned, it's a state where both the ruling front as well as the opposition alliance are, parties belonging to the opposition alliance, the India alliance. So their stand here is very clear that, they have been opposing the delimitation. They've said that, census is something that needs to be carried out, but where is the clarity? It's a state where, any reduction seats cannot be afforded, considering that it's a state that has always given edge to both the opposition alliance in the last Lok Sabha elections. So that's something they cannot afford. What the CPIM has said is that we have followed the population policy. We have been, in the form of delimitation by reducing our states. We've been crucified for following the government policy over the years, for implementing all the policies put forward. The CPM said that, when Home Minister Amit Shah is saying that there wouldn't be any reduction in the seats, there should be clarity about this. Why don't they call a meeting of all the national parties and put forward the plan, what they plan to implement? That should be made clear. That should be put forward is what the CPM has said. The Congress has also supported it, considering that both the parties are very strong allies in the opposition front.
Okay, let's now take this across to the Telugu states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Abdul Bashir, I'll come across to you for what's happening in Hyderabad. It's become the #1 political discourse in some states, in Tamil Nadu, to some extent in Karnataka. What's the mood in Telangana, Abdul? Telangana also stands to lose some seats if delimitation is done based on population.
Well, yes, Akhsita, here in Telangana Congress as well as Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, the BRS party, had cleared its stand on delimitation, stating that if it is done on the population, it is unjust or injustice to the southern states who have successfully implemented family planning in the southern states. Here in Telangana, while we see that the population is around 2.8%, but the contribution to the GDP is 5.1, is what the BRS party is arguing. Here, the BRS party's KT Ramarao has said that population on the basis, delimitation on the basis of population is injustice to Telangana. And if it is about fiscal contribution is also considered, or the economic contribution is considered, then this is something that will be, can be discussed about. So this is what is being said. So southern states, which are a population of 19%, have contributed about 36% to the GDP, is what the BRS party working president KTRS said. Now Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has also stated that the central government is trying to sideline the southern states, and this is only a damage to democracy if it is done in this way, that the population is considered for a delimitation. Now here Telangana Congress and also the BRS party is raising its voice against the delimitation.
The BRS also has made it very clear they'll be a part of their all-party meeting. I want to bring in Apurva Jayachandran finally to speak about what's happening in Andhra Pradesh. Apurva, here in Andhra, it'll be a little interesting to see what really the TDP stand is. They're part of the NDA. But at the same time, Chandrababu Naidu has been someone who's been pitching for exactly this, saying southern states should have a bigger population, should have more children. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation there for Chief Minister Naidu.
Well, that's right, definitely, Akhsita. Remember, Mr. Naidu, after the NDA-led government had come into power in 2024, he has been a strong front runner for pitching for people to have more population. A population increase is what Naidu has been pitching for essentially, and this we have seen him time and again saying as well in his various speeches, be it to the public, be it to the collectors, to the administrators as well. He's always encouraged that there needs to be a boom in population, especially in the southern states, given that there has been a practice of population control that has been the standard for several decades, and now it has come for a time to change, wherein right now several people have to go on and help in aid in population growth, is what Mr. Naidu has been advocating in the recent past as well.
To see how exactly Naidu will respond to this all-party meeting. But thank you all for joining me on this broadcast, and thank you for giving us clarity on what each state's stand is right now on delimitation. It's going to hit southern states. And let's talk about that. Is there any truth to the fears that delimitation will actually dent southern states' representation in parliament? Well, yes and no. Delimitation is essentially the process of fixing the number of Lok Sabha and assembly seats in the states. The very reason it's done is to ensure as population grows, the number of constituencies also grow. Essentially, population numbers dictate number of seats in each state. So let's explain this to you. If the delimitation exercise is carried out based on population numbers, it could mean that southern states, northeast states will lose out. And states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, which have seen a population boom, will benefit. What kind of numbers and laws are we talking about? Tamil Nadu could lose about 8 to 9 seats of the 39. Mind you, I'm saying if you see the current delimitation version happening. Kerala could lose 8 seats. Karnataka could lose 2. Andhra and Telangana could lose about 8 seats. And that's why in the southern states there's so much of anger over this. Uttar Pradesh could actually gain about 11 seats. Bihar could get 10 more seats. Rajasthan could go from 25 seats to 31 seats. So essentially gain 6 seats. So these seats, these states will benefit. The south will be dented, so will the northeast. What that translates to is that states which have successfully controlled their population numbers will be punished. But all this at the moment is speculation, is conjecture. Why? Because we don't really have clarity on how the delimitation exercise will happen, which is why Amit Shah has also reassured South states. Listen in to what the Home Minister said last week.
मोदी जी ने निश्चित रूप से आपके सभी हितों की रक्षा कर डिलिमिटेशन में आपका एक भी सीट प्रोरेटा कम न हो और जो बढ़ोतरी होगी इसमें उचित हिस्सा दक्षिण भारत के राज्यों को भी मिलेगा। इसमें कोई शंका रखने की जरूरत नहीं है। तमिलनाडु के सीएम हमेशा मोदी सरकार ने तमिलनाडु को अन्याय किया इसकी बात करती। मैं आज सीएम साहब को कहने आया हूं, अगर आप सही बोलते हैं तो कल मेरी बात का जवाब तमिलनाडु की जनता के सामने देंगे।
So let's say seat numbers for the South don't change. Any delimitation process that's population driven, which is the very definition of what delimitation is, will mean more seats for North even if South seats don't change, which means that the number of seats that South has is the same, but in the North it goes up. South's share therefore may drop to 19%. North states could go up to 60%. That will translate to a rising BJP dominance considering they're in power in most of the northern states I spoke of. It's not just a parliament impact. Taxes may rise for the South with 30% versus a state like Bihar or UP, which will get 250 to 300% off returns. This is where, again, there is a controversy. So before we move on to our next story, just a brief note on what the delimitation process looked like when seats changed based on population. I'll just list that out for you. In the 1951 census, we had a population of 36.1 crore. So the number of Lok Sabha seats were fixed at 494. The next census in 1961, our population became 43.9 crores. So seats went up to 522. And so with every census, the number of constituencies went up. This obviously means that states with a larger population get more representation in parliament. Seems unfair, right? Which is why, as per the 1971 census, this process was frozen to encourage population control measures. In 1976, based on the 1971 census figures, which is in fact what it currently is, a freeze on delimitation was imposed to protect states which had reduced their population growth rates through family planning from losing seats to states with higher population growth. So then in 2001, after the census was carried out, the boundaries of constituencies were adjusted without changing the number of seats. But here's the catch. This freeze on the process was only till 2026. So next year, there are questions on how the delimitation exercise will be carried out and if the parliamentary seats will be changed. We will continue tracking all the latest that comes in on delimitation because this is just the beginning of the political fight that we're going to see running up to next year when the process will take place post the census. And away from the news, we'd also like to inform our viewers that today is World Hearing Day. March 3rd is observed globally to raise awareness about hearing health and the importance of early detection and care. By 2030, over 500 million people are expected to have disabled hearing loss, yet it remains one of the most overlooked health concerns. To talk about this and shed light on the advancements in hearing solutions, we have with us Mr. Avinash Pawar, CEO and Managing Director of WSO Audiology India, with over 25 years of experience in the healthcare sector and 15 years dedicated to the hearing aid industry. Mr. Pawar has been instrumental in introducing cutting-edge products, enhancing services and driving impactful brand awareness campaigns. Under his leadership, WS Audiology has strengthened accessibility, affordability and awareness of hearing solutions in India.
Thank you so much. And on this World Hearing Day, I wish all your viewers a very healthy hearing.
Mr. Pawar, hearing loss is often ignored until it becomes a serious problem. So could you share some insights on the prevalence of hearing loss in India? And more importantly, what are the consequences of untreated hearing loss?
Well, hearing loss is a significant concern worldwide, and it is estimated approximately 1.6 billion people suffer from hearing loss. And when we talk about India, the WHO estimates around 6.3% of the Indian population have some kind of a hearing disability. So this number is gigantic. We looked at that recently that the hearing loss has started affecting more and more younger people also because of the noise pollution or the habits of using earphones with a very higher volume instruments. Hearing loss impacts the person, the quality of the life gets affected, there is a social isolation, there are mental issues. Some of the people have reported dementia over a period of time. So this is something which needs to be addressed in time.
Signia, of course, has been at the forefront of innovation and hearing solutions. So can you tell us more about Signia's contribution in this space and how its technology is actually transforming lives?
Signia is one of the leading brands of hearing aids in the world, and it has a very long legacy in India, formerly known as Siemens Hearing Instruments. And Signia has been continuously offering the innovative technological solutions to hearing impaired people over the years. The best part of Signia is that Signia offers a comprehensive range of products which is suitable from every section of the society, and including the lower socio-economical segment as well. Basically, looking into the consumer trends, it is observed that today's consumers are looking out for a very special features in hearing aids, and Signia offers a very unique form factors, connectivity, Bluetooth connectivity, rechargeability kind of a solution. Very recently, Signia launched a platform called Integrated Experience, and that enhances the real-time conversation for hearing aid wearer. So for one of the kind of a technology that helps hearing aid patient to have the hearing aid and use it very effectively in a most dynamic or a noisy situation. And that kind of a technological evolution that Signia is constantly offering, backed up by very strong services for the Indian consumers and customers all across India.
Mr. Pawar, with advancements in hearing technology, accessibility and awareness improving, what are some of the future plans Signia has to further drive awareness, accessibility for hearing care in India?
Awareness to address the social stigma is very important. So Signia is planning to leverage the possible media through digital, print and electronic to reach out to general population to create awareness about hearing loss, consequences and possible solution. We will also use our brand ambassador or CSR activities to enhance the awareness. In terms of accessibility, it's been noticed that most of the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities have less number of hearing aid clinics, and Signia through its partner is working on expanding their footprints, facilitating new audiologists under the Signia entrepreneurship program to start the hearing aid clinics so that we can service to more and more number of people with our affordable solution under Make in India, which is we have very started recently in this country.
It's clear that hearing health is not just about sound, it's about quality of life. So thank you very much, Mr. Pawar, for sharing these valuable insights and for the work Signia is doing in this space. As we mark World Hearing Day, let's all take a step towards better hearing care for ourselves and for those around us. Thanks very much for tuning in. That's all we have time for in this edition of Super 6. Thanks very much for tuning in.